Hi folks, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. Back on Chigboro, as you can see, the wonderful Rook Hall. Spring morning, mid-March, the sun is shining and there's lots and lots and lots of buzzers hatching. It's buzzer time of season now. Everybody's been hanging on for this. Everybody's always waiting for buzzer season, and this is it. They've started. So I thought I'd come over and do a little video, mainly concentrating on straight line buzzer fishing. So by that I mean using just 3 buzzers, no colour, no foam, no lures, anything like that. Just 3 straight buzzers, and we peg out on a leader. That allows us to search the depths effectively. So I'll have 1 fly each depth, depending on what these fish do in the water, whether they're coming up and down. And on a bright morning like this, you would imagine that they're going to be sort of mid-water, maybe that little bit deeper. The sun's going to push them down a bit. Excuse the noise of all these geese going on behind me. They're going nuts today, driving me crazy. Right, quick chat about the setup. Fairly standard setup, fairly easy setup for this sort of fishing. I've got a 9'6", weight rod. This is new Witchwood Ionica, medium to fast action rod, perfect for this sort of work where I need to pop out a line nice and quickly. The rocket floater as always, and a leader here made up of 12 foot of 9 pound fluorocarbon. 9 pound seems a little heavy, but we need it for this time of year. These buzzer tails can be absolutely savage, and we need to have a little bit of safety in the setup so we're not snapping off on fish. Also, there's a very real chance of getting double hookups, so 2 fish at once. When they're on the buzzers, they're really on them, and they're not lying shy at the moment. You can get away, although we've got clear water here, you can still get away with a fairly strong leader. Flies, as we said, just 3 buzzers, and I've got them equally spaced apart on a 12-foot leader, so I've gone 4, 4 and a point fly. 2 Vicar buzzers, remember you can see that there, just dangling there. Let's get that in front of the camera for you. So 2 of those Vicar buzzers, and then on the point I've just got one of my favourite old Chris Packet buzzers on the point. It doesn't really matter at this time of year. Once the fish are onto these flies, they're onto them. So shapes and sizes of flies. Size 10s, yeah, I'm using nice full fat size 10s because they're a big buzzer in the water and I want mine to stand out amongst them. But actual pattern, colour, as long as it's black or something like that, you're in the right sort of ballpark. The other thing I have done with this line this morning is I've just taken my muslin and I have greased the line right up. I've taken all the way, first 20 foot of my fly line there, again just to keep this up in the water, because this is going to be my bite detector. This is going to be my indicator. This is going to be the first sign that I've got some sort of interest from the fish. I'm going to see some movement there, so I want it sitting up nice and high in the water. These buzzers, when they get going, and you'll see the amount of shuck in the water, and I'll show you the amount of shuck in the water, what we get with these buzzers is a food item hanging in the water that's trying to get up to the surface and then dropping, trying to get into the surface and then dropping down slightly. So you end up with this up and down movement, and that's what we're going to try and simulate with this. There's very little to do with buzzer fishing. In fact, less is more with this. Some people struggle with that concept of less is more, but it really is. The idea being that we're going to pop this out, let the buzzer sink down through the water, expecting the take on the way down, and then when I think they're somewhere near the bottom, I'm going to give them a nice long pull or 2, bring everything back up again, and then just take my hand off the line and let everything sink down. I'm going to be watching either the fly line, or I'm going to be watching the fly line at the tip of the rod for any sort of movement, any sort of draw away. Generally these buzzer takes, when they come, they're pretty ferocious and unmissable, but we'll wait and see. But it's looking good. There's a few fish moving, there's plenty of shuck in the water, plenty of buzzer in the water, so I know they're on there. So let's get everything out there and give it a little shot. As always folks, if you enjoy these videos, click like and click subscribe. Feel free to share them around. Let's get these flies in the water and get some trout going. Right, here we go. So we're all set up. 3 buzzers. Look at all these buzzers coming off in the water that hatch in here in front of us. Loads of them. We've got 3 buzzers. That's straight line method, floating line. And all we're going to do is fish across this wind. I've got a slight left to right breeze here, so I'm just going to put these out across the wind and pretty much let the current and a little bit of wind action, that's fine, and there, just let it sink down. I've got a bit of extra line there if I need it, but I'm just going to straighten that out, and I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to let those buzzers drop down through the water. And the idea being, they're quite likely, the fish are quite likely to take them as they're just settling through the water, and we'll just see the lines scoot away. We won't have to do too much. We're in about 10 to 12 foot of water out in front of us here, so a reasonable depth. And having those 3 different buzzers on there just allows us to fish 3 different depths at once, depending on where these fish are. I've not seen much moving yet this morning, but that's fairly standard. It's early morning. And it's quite bright as well, but that's had time to settle. Look at that. Oh, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's almost like I set these up, isn't it? It just took that on the drop as that's going down through the water. No movement on the fly at all, didn't do anything with it, just watch the fly line zoom away, and he's had that second dropper, which is that Vicar buzzer. Nice start. Lovely start. The hook's pinged out in the net, which is absolutely perfect. Let's have a little look at him. Around here in the sunshine. Lovely, bright spring buzzer feeder. Now, if we were to have a look inside him, which we're obviously not going to do, he'd be absolutely full of buzzers. Full of buzzers. There we go. Well, we like starts like that. We like starts like that. Right, let's try that again. It's the same thing. I'm just going to put the 3 buzzers straight across this wind here and let the wind just push them around. I'm not chucking a mega long line, just so I can get turnover. That's perfect, that's lovely, plenty of line there. Probably 40 foot of line there. And just let them settle. What is important though is to, 1, to keep that rod tip fairly down to the water, and 2, to just take any slack out of that, so when you get that take, you're in contact with the fish straight away. And those flies again are just fluttering down through the water, and I'm just watching for that fly line to flex or move. And what I'm going to do at this end is I'm going to meet it with a little bit of a strip strike, so when it pulls away I'm going to pull it. I'm not going to lift the rod to strike, I'm just going to give it a nice pull, and just like you just saw there, the hook will set, and it's fluttering down through the water now. Absolutely perfect. I think that's getting down somewhere near depth. I'm just going to give it a nice long slow pull, brings the flies back up again, and then we're going to go through that process of letting them flutter down through the water. Wind's just dragging those flies around at a nice pace. Fish just rose there to my right. Little flex on the line there, could have been something. And on the last long draw. Yeah, fish are starting to pick up on these buzzers, look. These buzzers, 1 or 2 are hatching now. You might have a nick 1 or 2 on the dries later on. But it's a bit bright at the moment. Another long pull, big long 4 foot pull, look at that, big long pull, bring those flies right back up again. You can see the buzzers hatching, they're on the fly line. And then just start to figure that back now. Really slowly. Just bringing that bit of line together. Just watching for that line to move. I'm kneeling down here at the moment. I've got the sun behind me, and the water's very clear, so I'm trying not to cast too much of a silhouette. You can see these buzzers coming off pretty rapidly now. Long pull. Now, geese are on fine form again this morning. And then we're going to hang it just as we get over the ledge here, so there's the drop off there. I'm just going to slowly lift them up. Just give them a hang. Another hang. Cool. Right. Let's go again. Same again, just across that wind. And just nice cast, give it a bit of a stop there just to get it to turn over and let them settle. Great fishing when they're on the buzzers. They throw all caution to the wind, and they've really been switched on this last 2 weeks now. We've still got these nasty easterly winds, but the sun seems to be beaten out. It's just enough warmth on the water to get these buzzers coming off regularly, and they're really peeling off this morning now. And the fish they've found them, they're on them. So again, just let that sit there, let it settle, let the wind do its work, just pushing it around a bit. Waiting for that line to go. It's a long pull, bring all those flies back up again. Just let it go round. I think the fish are coming up later on. We'll put a fab or something on the point just to slow everything down, but I think you've got a nice depth of water here, so those buzzers can just hang there. Another long pull, big long pull, and just leave it. What a morning. Another long pull. Got it on the retrieve, rattling them back in again. Look, that's those little vicar buzzers. They got that little bit of silver in them, and they just catch the sun. I mean, that's why we selected them, because the water's so bright, and they just get a little catch of the sun, and the fish respond to them. Nice chunky rainbow again. Nice fish. A nice mess of the leader as well. That's part and parcel of it. Come on, mate. Let's get this barbless hooks, get a grab on them. Come on. It's just best off just letting them do their thing when they're like this. Try not to handle them if you can help it. And then it should just slip out. Like that. Again, lovely, lovely fish. They're in such good nick at the moment. Yeah, plenty of food in the water. Water's nice and cold. It's all the things that rainbow trout love. There we are. Isn't it wonderful in that clear water? Go on, mate. Away you go. Come on. Perfect. Look at that. Whoosh. He's off. Well, that's a pretty decent start. Well, that's a pretty decent start. 2 fish in 10 minutes. We'll take that any day. Plenty of buzzer coming off now. So they left me in a little bit of a tangle that last one, but we're out of it, no dramas. So let's get everything straightened out and back out there again. Same again, straight across that wind. Not a mega long line, just about 40 feet of line. That's it, and landing it back in place. Tighten up, and then just let it do its thing, just let it go, just drifting round. That last one took on the tree, so we're going to emulate that. We're going to finish off with a little bit more of a rapid retrieve and see if we can get the odd bonus fish, but for the second we'll just leave this static. Coming across that wind now. And these flies are, these buzzers are hatching off the bank behind me in the shallows here. They get the sunshine on them, it's quite nice and warm, and they're just pushing across, and the fish are just nailing them about halfway across. They're a good sized buzzer as well, early season buzzer. They're a good size 10, these are, so no need to go too small on them. That is working through there, absolutely lovely. Yeah. Nice long pull. There he is. Look at that. He took that on the pull. Took that on the pull. It's that sudden lift of the buzzer, and they can't resist it. And he's on the point fly this time. He's on the crisp packet on the point. Keep that rod down, barbless hooks, just keep a nice angle on them. Oh, this is some of the best sport of the year. It's some of the best sport of the year. It's no wonder everybody gets excited about buzzer fishing and talks about buzzer fishing all the time. When they're switched onto these things, it's great. Nice chunky fish right on the top of the nose where you'd expect. And he goes, beautiful. Yeah. Hooks out in the net. He's plenty lively enough, he is. There you go. Nice. Right, we've had 2 or 3 fish up there, but this breeze has suddenly picked up, so I've just moved down 1 peg just to get me more square over the wind, just slightly off of it. I've got this nice swing through here now. So same method, haven't changed anything, still got 3 buzzers on, and we're just going to try running it through here, getting across the wind, and I'm just letting it get into that wind, get that nice big bow going and let it pull round, and hopefully just wait for it to go tight. There we go, there's the take. Slammed it. Just let it come around with the wind. So that middle dropper again. Lovely. Looks out in the net. There he goes. Right, well, things have got a little bit quiet for a while, so we'll just come back up to that first platform. We've gone back to the straight line and the buzzers. There's not so many fish moving now, so I've got another buzzer on the point again. So we're back to how we started. I wonder whether these fish have just pushed a little bit deeper now that sun's up high. And just pop that across there. It's quite a deep channel, runs through the middle here, so we'll see if we just fish that in the deeper water. Look at that, wow. Well, that worked. Incredible. Change of depth again, eh? Change of depth. Where's he going? He's on that point buzzer this time, so there I'll push down a little bit with the sunshine from the looks of things. That's the crisp packet. Let's get him in. Lovely, nice and quick. Hooks out in the net. And away he goes. Smashing. Well, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it? Those fish certainly played ball. Went off a little bit this afternoon, a little bit later on, as that sun got high, and I think, to be honest with you, they filled up on buzzers there. It's very easy for them to fill up the amount of food in the water, but this morning that was certainly switched on, and those takes, wow, they really are unbeatable. You know, it's quite clear why people are always raving about buzzer season, buzzer time of the year. You know, just such positive takes. The fish are having their first proper feed up of the season. And it shows, you know, they're fighting fit. They've got lots of oxygen in them because the water's nice and cool, and now they've got a good protein source as well. So this sort of sport on here now should last for another 6 weeks, something like that, until that water temperature starts to rise. But I mean, buzzers are always on the menu for trout, and they're always present in the water. They're always there. It's just now that they really focus on them because it's their first big meal of the season. So I had a lot of fun doing that, as always. I hope you liked the video. Please click like, click subscribe. You know the routine. Feel free to share it around. Any ideas, any suggestions, just put them down in the comments box down there. And I look forward to catching up with you all on the water there sometime soon. Thanks very much. Bye bye.